Yeah, because I don't get to have a life, right? So, okay, so that was number two for Julian. And I'm trying to do something important. And we'll see if three comes. I'm kind of hoping that he hears everything I'm saying, because I would say it anyways, and I have said it anyways. Um, anyways, getting back to, because now I'm all thrown off my thought process. That's okay. That was intended. Uh, what I was talking about was all colors matter. Black, green, yellow, purple, pink, red, yellow, tan, brown, black, white, and over and over and over again. All lives matter. And so I'm so busy cheering on for, like, oh my god, because I was just like horrified at what's going on in the world, with, this police brutality. I've gone to jail 4 times and I've been innocent 4 times. Someone was allowed to lie to the police and say I hit and kicked them and charge me with something called a voie de fait. So I went to the station. I spent the whole night there. I didn't get my medication, except for this one who will remain unnamed officer who kind of snuck one to me the next day on the paddy wagon, if you could believe it. I'm 53 years old. I have no criminal record. It's crazy, right? So there I am. I'm in a different part of the cage, and the others are in the back. And 10 men get off at the Palace of Justice. But I stay. And I'm like, hey. I was told I was going to see the judge. I was told it. And then by this time, I'm realizing they shackle you, They shackle you, yeah. So they put cuffs on your ankle, and one was like, it was bleeding, right? So I asked the driver, please, sir, can you loosen it? And you know what he says to me? On est dans une prison, pas un hôtel. Which is obvious. We're in prison. We're not in a hotel. So deal with it. So there I am, innocent, right? Innocent, don't forget. I never hit anybody. There weren't even any raised voices. Okay? And I'm seeing Bordeaux. A male prison. A prison that, no, I wasn't always an angel. That I visited 2 ex-boyfriends in. It's only male. And here we are driving in off of Gwen Boulevard to Bordeaux prison. I was like, oh my god, this could not be happening to me. So they unload me and another guy. And she was like, he kept saying, I'm innocent, man. I'm like, what's going on? Because I still don't know. There is no translation from French to English what a voie de fait is. So I'm like, what is going on, And by this time, I haven't had my medication. I'm in rough shape. And they strip searched me. Only every second male officer peered in the glass while I was naked. In my little, or sometimes covered with my little turquoise and diamond matching bra and underwear. So then they threw some pants on me. I'm like, what's gonna go on? What's going on? And after that, I was led around like a dog. I am not at liberty to say what happened. But none of it was good. And I will say there were sexual inappropriacies on a constant basis. That's all I'm willing to say. And, once I was so much in pain inside of my body and my elbows that I ran away kind of, and I hid where these metal toilets are, and I just stayed there with my feet on the toilet seat, and I was so frightened. And then I thought, there's so much barbed wire, there's so many guards. The female guards watched and saw what was going on. And they just went, shh, shh, as they looked through the little window and saw what was going on. Shh. So I have shushed. I will shush. There's one officer who I'd like to give a shout out to. And she was a Portuguese officer at Station 12. And I said, "Did you hear what happened to me?" And she said, "Yes, I did, Mrs. Solomon." And she lowered her head. And she said, "We're so sorry for that." The only thing is, she was the only one who said she was sorry. There were so many inappropriate things that were said to a 53-year-old woman. I used to make a joke, "Why you stay with him?" Because they always, "Why you stay? What's the reste avec lui? Why you stay with him? He must be good at sex." I'm 53 years old. Excuse me? That's off limits. He must be good at sex. In fact, no, that's not why I loved him. I loved him because he was brilliant. And you officers would obviously never know that I was brilliant. In fact, probably more brilliant than he. And I'd be ready to take an IQ test, because I had 8 IQ tests that said I was a genius. The only problem is I've made every decision with my heart. And you officers, you wouldn't know about hearts. You don't have hearts. Most of you. Most of you. There was one officer that I looked at and I said, how come a lot of the officers in Quebec, as far as a province is concerned, in a country, they have far more incidences of being on the take. And he said, "Mrs. Solomon, our take home is $26,000. We all have families. Do you blame us?" Thank you for your honesty. No, I'll never say your name, nor do I remember it. But you didn't deny it? How prevalent is it then? Do you blame us? Yes, I do. Find another job that has a take-home of 30 grand before you humiliate, destroy, brutalize human beings that will never be the same. So yes, I do blame you. But being in my bra and underwear, I was hardly in a position to say, "Well, that's kind of prickish," Anyways, that's my story. That's some of it. And I'm going to tell all of it before the night's over. And I really hope you get to hear it, because it is the truth. And there are some good police, but there are some really bad ones. Station 52. Station 52. I'm not even gonna say what credentials he had, but he shook my hand and rubbed his middle finger in the palm of my hand, which would be like a sexual innuendo, right? And then they like handcuffed me to the chairs, and they paraded me up and down Saint Denis, and then they drove me back to 20, and they gave me a bunch of really great officers, because there I got into the car, and all they had to say was, "You've been to 20, Mrs. Solomon. You've already been to 20. You know what it's like. That's where you're going." Because I was like, "Where are we going? What's going on?" And then they, like, put up the back, so I couldn't even say anything. Like, in your face, Madam Solomon, you've already been to 20. I never should have if any of you sons of bitches would have been doing your jobs properly. Whoops! Sorry. Off track. Okay, so, kibitz and bits, nobody's all bad, nobody's all good, but there are a percentage of people that really need to take some courses on how to deal with human beings and human rights and civil rights, because I know I'll never be the same, and I know nobody cares, and I'm okay with that, kind of. Anyways, kibitz and bits, Montreal, Quebec, Canada, and Kimberly Ann Ryan Solomon. Why would you go along with such a heinous, tricky, mean, cruel plan? All of you. Why would you do that? Why? I don't get it. What did I ever do to you? Kibitz and bits.